Alright, another response video to the Modern Mystic. Moving kind of slowly, still hung up on cash. When I think the real subject that you don't want to really talk about, but I think is the only subject worth talking about is employment and the value of work, how much we're going to pay for it, and investment. How do we decide what we will work at. And what we encourage and incentivize people to be doing in the world. Lying, cheating, stealing, making crank phone calls all the time, trying to sell me whatever, plastic bananas. Or should we have people actually doing meaningful, dignified, honest labor? That's, to me, the more important subject, but okay, let's do this shit instead. So anyway, alright, so now you're playing games with words here and they're just irritating, so that's why I'm irritated. No reserve banking versus fractional reserve banking versus full reserve banking. Okay, let's pick one of those subjects. I don't see this whole idea of no reserve banking. Canada's doing it. Oh shit, that's like again with the Japanese example. So Japan decided to buy its own debt and therefore now it's a brilliant idea. So the fact that Canada is getting away with it for 2 weeks means, oh, it works, it's a great idea. Now, maybe it doesn't work. I mean, I think that to have some minimum notion of a bank's solvency as reflected in reserve accounts does make sense. And even if we have no reserve banking, we still need a way of putting cash into the economy. So I guess we're still going to have reserve accounts or some mechanism by which new cash gets into the economy. Well, I guess the government could just print the cash and put it into the economy, so maybe that's not true. Yeah, it could just decide to spend the money, like Milton Friedman says, spend 3% every year. And Milton Friedman says that for what I remember his reasons, the rationale was also, I mean, he agreed with me that, I think, I won't even say what he might have said because fuck it, there's no point. The fact is you want currency to degrade a little bit over time. You want some inflation in the economy. No inflation or deflation in the economy is very dangerous because then people start hoarding currency. And that you don't want to have happen because it just slows everything down because now it takes forever. If you go to the bank to cash a check, the bank has to say, look, I got your cash. I just have to go get it because some asshole's hoarding it. And so I have to wrench it out of his house. Okay, but I have a claim on it. Don't worry. Claim is good. It's just going to take me a while because these assholes are hoarding this shit. Anyway, so yeah, that's always, it's sensible to have a degrade, just a little bit of inflation, just to make cash a hot potato, something people don't want to hold. It's transaction currency. Alright, you talk about these damn digits all the time like they're somehow gold. Guess what? Your credit card costs us all money. Alright? We all get 7 or 5, at least 5% less value in the world because of fucking credit cards. And that's not even counting the defaulted debt that we have to pay for. There's a fee to credit cards. Alright? Now, if we could digitize our cash, if we could put cash into an account and have it digitized, so now we have an account, a secure debit card kind of account. We could just do that as a free right. I could just put my money in my Social Security account or something. The Fed would give me an account where I could put my fucking cash. It would be secure, and all I would be allowed to do is digitize it. Okay, no fees, no bullshit. Okay, it's secure, it's guaranteed. A rational government Bitcoin relative to cash. Okay, this idea that yes, digitization is good. Okay, having digital money is great. But we could make cash digital. And again, the fucking money in your goddamn credit card account is still a claim on cash, damn it. Every day at the... Jesus, you're just pissing me off because you know this shit. You know every goddamn fucking day, okay? All the checks, all the digits, all the bullshit is translated into cash by the Fed. Every fucking day that happens. So don't tell me that this digital money... is somehow not based on cash. It's based on fucking cash. It has to go to the fucking Fed, and the Fed says, how much cash is this shit worth? Every fucking day that happens. And you're pretending it doesn't. It's translated into goddamn cash every fucking day. Those digits are a promise on cash. So the money in your goddamn checking account or the money in your goddamn credit card account every fucking day is translated into cash. Shit. Didn't want to get angry. Okay, so now you play another word game. Okay, the money, cash isn't the standard. Okay, the dollar is the standard. I mean, what's the point? Really, what's the fucking point? I was going to argue this kind of semantical crap. The fact of the matter is if they print twice as much cash as in the economy right now, then the dollar's going to go twice as big. Or twice as small, recognizing the understanding of the relative comparisons. Okay, it has nothing to do with the fucking dollar. The dollar doesn't make anything endurable. The cash is what makes it. If you put twice as much cash, you have twice as little value to the dollar. It's a fact. Cash runs the dollar. The dollar doesn't run the cash. Who's driving here? The cash is driving. That's why there's so little of it in the fucking economy. There's not so little of it in the economy because nobody uses it. There's so little in the economy to keep it valuable. And it's just transaction currency. It's just a guaranteed contract. Again, stuff, cash, money. Okay, that's the hierarchy. Okay, the cash is a fucking guaranteed by the U.S. government by a certain guarantee. There's just no... the fact that the French took gold instead of cash just had to do with their perspective that maybe, okay, this cash isn't very useful to us, where we can use gold anywhere. We can use gold in China. We can use gold here. We can use gold anywhere. So yeah, of course you want the gold if they can have it. But it's sort of being a pain in the ass, the whole economic system. So I'm sure we'd do the same thing to them then. If they're going to be petty and ask us for gold, then I suppose we could do the same fucking thing to them and ask them to put gold on ships and send it back to us. But is there any efficiency in that? I mean, we could just sit there and trade bags of wheat. I mean, the whole system is to try to make barter simple. That's what cash was invented to do. It makes barter easy. You don't have to send each other buckets of fucking sheep and, here's a bushel of cows and here's a hook knock of pigs. I mean, why the fuck do you want to live like that? Yeah, so you have a nice working system, a nice working piece of transaction currency, and you fuckers think it's the end of the world. You fuckers think there's some kind of fucking problem with us recognizing that cash is the standard, that cash is the foundation, that everything else is built on the value of the cash. And that cash has a direct and certain relationship to the value of stuff, to the value of an hour's work, to the value of a bucket of water, to the value of a clean air, to the value of whatever, a road you drive on. And we can see that relationship, and we can see what degrades that relationship. We know what inflates prices, okay? And that is people who have a whole ton of claims on stuff. And they outbid us with their deeds and with their mortgage deeds, with their IOU money. But again, just recognize all your credit card digits are IOUs on cash. Shit. So I can't believe we're going to waste all this fucking time arguing about the fucking the durability, reliability, and security of something that's just obviously working, cash. It's all the other crap that's not working. It's the credit card fucking fees that aren't working. It's the usury that's not working. But instead you're going to blame cash. Yes, it's just... Anyway. It's just so off subject. I mean, really. I mean, why does Forbes waste his time? If he wants to make a rational argument about something, well, then yeah, do his stupid, idiotic flat tax thing or something. But this whole arguing about a gold standard fixing anything is just stupid. And again, I don't see the point of making this. Playing this game with the word fractional reserve banking. There is no fractional reserve banking. Well, then you're saying there's no reserve banking. You're just saying that there's no sensible limit or rational limit to that we shouldn't even think there should be. Well, of course we think that we should think there should be some sort of liquidity rationale that banking fits into, that you can only have so many unsecured loans, and so you have to have so many secured loans, and you have to have some sort of mix to be doing rational, sensible banking. You can't do all high-risk banking and then say you're just as good as the guy doing low-risk banking. So there has to be some way to measure the risk level, the integrity of the bank practice. I mean, we've had this problem before because you've talked about loaning as if all loans are the same. Collateralized loans are the same as uncollateralized loans, and they're not. It's a huge, giant difference. And again, these stupid credit card loans are the least of the problem for banks because the interest fees are so high, they're making so much fucking money off of them, that they should never have a right to complain, because they've made so many times the price of the value that they should have their own insurance fund against all of them go in default, because they've made so much money. They've raped the suckers so fucking royally and so deeply, you know, that yeah, they you know, it's a joke. Anyway. Yeah, but don't tell me about this greatness of having to pay fees to credit card companies, because I don't like the idea that when I'm a cash customer, I pay the same price as you digit lovers for your fucking goddamn 5% you cut off the fucking price of things. So yeah, the merchant gets 4 or 5% less money, and he's charging us the same fee. He's charging somebody the same fee for cash. Well, cash should cost. You should get more value for cash if we're going to pay fees on this digital money. And you know, like I said, I like the convenience. I like the rationality. I like the technology of digitized money. But if you're going to do it with a bunch of capitalist whores, fuck you. Yeah, I mean, everything has to be fucked whether you're capitalist whores. Anyway, this isn't going that well, is it? Yeah, so far so bad. Okay. Is there really anything to say? I mean, you really don't want to do the overview thing. You want to do some argument about whether there's a gold standard. I say a gold standard makes absolutely no difference. It's not going to change a motherfucking thing unless you say it's going to get rid of fractional reserve banking, because that makes a huge difference, because then interest rates are going to be 478%. Okay. So maybe we could agree on that. That poor people ain't getting mortgages anymore. That's for goddamn sure. So, till next time.